So today, very briefly, three of the most famous and most beautiful and most beloved of Buddhist texts: the mantra of the Dalai Lama and two sutras. Sutras are sermons by the Buddha or his disciples: the Lotus Sutra and the Heart Sutra. So first, Om Mani Padme Om. The national mantra of Tibet, the prayer of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, incarnated in our time in His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. In Sanskrit, it's pronounced Om Mani Padme Hum. Entire treatises have been written about these 6 syllables. The Dalai Lama has preached sermons on this mantra prayer. Briefly, this is what it means. And of course, it invites you into it. It's not a left brain activity. It's like the rosary. It invites you into its rhythms. Om, the sound of pure creativity, the pregnant silence from which all things are born, the womb of the universe. Whenever anything is born, whether it was from the beginning of time or in time, in your life right now, a new life, a thought, an aha, a tear, a smile, a change of heart, a love. It begins, it originates, it comes from Om. Mani, the jewel of intention to remove all obstacles to the awakened life, arising from the faint whispers of the Buddha nature within, the will to see oneself in all things and all things within you. All things one. Padme, the lotus of wisdom, not knowledge, but deep wisdom, the truth of impermanence, emptiness at the heart of all things, the supple and soft lotus arising out of the muck and mud, shimmering in the sunlight. Again, all things one. Hum, the seed syllable of Akshobhya, the immovable one, the Buddha of insight, the indivisible one. It's the union of Mani and Padme, the union of will and wisdom, intention and insight. Om Mani Padme Hum, the jewel in the lotus, the sound of eternity within time, no heaven, no earth anymore, beyond all dualities. Chanting these 6 syllables with a pure heart, the Dalai Lama says, the lotus flower within you that slowly opens, the muck of obstacles to your freedom falls away. The jewel of your Buddha nature emerges, casting light on your path and others' paths as well. these 6 syllables, Om Mani Padme Om, they capture the heart of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, non-duality. The Lotus Sutra is one of the great Mahayana texts. It was written in the 1st century in India. So think about this. As Jesus was alive in Palestine, and Paul preaching the gospel around the Mediterranean, in India, the Lotus Sutra was being written. The Lotus Sutra was being written at the same time the Gospels were being written. Originally, Buddhist practice was reserved for monks and nuns, those who renounced the world. It was called Theravada Buddhism. It became known as the Hinayana, the little raft. And it emphasized intense discipline to achieve the individual attainment of enlightenment. Those who achieved nirvana were called arhats. But as Buddhism evolved so that lay people, no matter their station or vocation, could practice it, a broader path emerged, Mahayana, the greater raft that emphasized the bodhisattva path, where upon attaining enlightenment, you forego the final step in order to serve others on their journey to their own awakening. And of course, in Tibet, the Dalai Lama and Vajrayana, the diamond raft, that's for another day. So here's the story of the Lotus Sutra. The Buddha sits on Vulture Peak, surrounded by a large audience. All my teachings until now have been provisional, he says. You haven't been ready for my highest teaching, the greatest truth. There's only one superior path, the Buddha-yana, the other-centered raft, the other-centered path of the Bodhisattva. Buddhas appear in the world for only one reason, not for their own sake, but to lead all beings to realize their own Buddhahood, the unmanifested Dharmakaya, the Buddha's truth body of wisdom and compassion, incarnated in time and in you. And then he begins to speak in 7 parables. The parable of the burning house. Once there lived a rich man who had many children, and one day a fire broke out in their house, but the children were playing, so were unaware of the fire. Even when the rich man pleaded with them, they wouldn't listen to him, so engrossed were they in their games. So he told them that outside there were 3 carts, one pulled by a goat, one by a deer, one by an ox, with toys and treats awaiting them. So they left their burning house. But behold, there was really only one, a great white carriage pulled by an ox and filled with jewels and far more precious riches than they had ever imagined before. The parable of the gem in the jacket. Once 2 friends, a rich man and a poor man, gathered at the rich man's house for dinner. They ate and they drank and they drank and they ate some more, and the poor man became drunk and fell fast asleep. Before the rich man had to leave for business, and while the poor man was still asleep, he sewed a precious jewel into the poor man's coat. The rich man left. The poor man awoke, and he left too, and wandered for many years in poverty, not realizing the treasure he had. When the 2 men met again, The rich man was surprised that the poor man was still poor, so revealed to him the jewel he'd been carrying with him all along. The Bodhiyana, the Bodhisattva path, the jewel in your cloak that you've been carrying with you all along. And where I really have wanted to get to today, the Heart Sutra. The full name of the Heart Sutra is Prajna Paramita, the heart of the perfection of wisdom, written in the early 3rd century in China. Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva of compassion, speaks to Sariputra, one of the Buddha's most influential disciples, and his message: beyond the 5 skandhas, beyond words, impressions, feelings, perceptions, even beyond our perceptions of the deities, while these are necessary, they're merely images of reality. They're not the realities themselves. No purity, no impurity. No yesterday, no tomorrow. No birth, no death. No being, no non-being. Non-duality, emptiness, one. Prajna Paramita, heart of the perfection of wisdom, is simply and poignantly stated. Form is emptiness. Shunyata, emptiness is form. Here's the image. Picture your life. At any point in your life, picture your life now. You're standing on the nearer shore and you want to reach the yonder shore. This could be a metaphor for your entire life as you look back on it, or it could be a change you want to make to your life right now, or some other part of your journey. It could also be a metaphor for the human and divine, life and death, or some other duality. The nearer shore and the yonder shore. How would you describe where you are right now, the nearer shore? And what is the yonder shore to which you'd like to go? Your raft is the rules, laws, your philosophy of life, your value system, how you've lived and made your way in the world, your past, even your religion, your gods, all the ways you make meaning in your life. That's your raft. And you set off on this raft from the nearer shore across the river of life, eyes fixed firmly on the yonder shore. The river, sometimes still, sometimes the current rough, tossed about, yet slowly, slowly you make your way across the river of life. You draw closer and closer to the yonder shore, the goal of your dreams. And as your raft brings you to the edge of the yonder shore, you step off your raft, the sand under your feet. You turn and look back from wherever you've come. You turn and you look back to the nearer shore from where you come, and aha, behold, it disappears from before your eyes, and you realize a truth, the truth. There was no nearer shore. You turn back again. There's no yonder shore either. And behold, even the river that separated them disappears as well. The yonder shore was the nearer shore all along. The beyond is here, not over there. It is here, and it is now. Prajna Paramita, The heart of the perfection of wisdom is that bliss, joy, fulfillment lies beyond the pair of opposites, beyond duality. The promised land you seek is the place you're already standing. Dharmakaya, it's called Dharmakaya, the truth body of the Buddha, is already yours here now. And isn't this the message of that great Buddhist movie, The Wizard of Oz? What did Dorothy and her friends discover? That the wizard wasn't a wizard, but they had to go to the wizard, through the wizard, to find out that there wasn't a wizard, that he wasn't a wizard at all. That each one had within them a heart, a brain, a courage, home, had within them what they were looking for all along. They already had within them the gift they were seeking. Buddha once said, "The Buddha is like a thorn you use to pull out another thorn. Once you've pulled out the thorn, you can throw both thorns away." Or the Heart Sutra, "The Buddha is like a raft you use to take you from the nearer shore to the yonder shore. The raft is necessary for the journey, but once you arrive, why would you want to carry that heavy raft around with you on your back?" So this is how it ends. This is Prajna Paramita, the heart of the perfection of wisdom. Buddhas, past, present, future. This is the sacred verse, the heart of the perfection of wisdom, the most luminous mantra, the truest wisdom that can put an end to suffering. So we sing out the praises that will bring us to the yonder shore. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisvaha. Gone, gone, gone to the yonder shore. I'm gone, gone beyond. I'm gone to the yonder shore. Illumination, awakening. Aha. And I want to play one more thing for you, and then we'll talk. So if you just give me a second here. So the Heart Sutra is fairly short, so I thought I'd play it for you as it's being chanted. Gate, gate, paragate parasam, gate, bodhisvaha. Gone, gone, gone to the yonder shore. I'm gone, gone beyond, I'm gone beyond to the yonder shore.